Of course, ladies and gentlemen, the other problem with Deacon Luke St. John as a gruff white guy, he likes to, well, ogle his girlfriend's ass. Here is Exhibit A, Your Honor.
Here, I'll show you what you're looking for.
Yep, found it.
All right, come on, focus.
I am focused.
So ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a brand new video today and a bit of a health update regarding my personal well-being. Well, it turns out I don't have tendinitis. It seems I have something else, which is why I am sitting down, because for the last few videos you saw me standing upright, and behave yourselves by the way, but I've got to sit down because my lower legs have kind of lost their shape a little bit and my doctor says I've got to go to a neurologist. So hopefully the person, maybe a he or a she, I'm banking on the last obviously, will actually give me a proper diagnosis. So I've still got a pain shooting down and up and down my back at the moment. Really frustrating, but one good thing I suppose out of all of this, I haven't really gone out anywhere as much as I like to venture out into the yonder, so to speak, but I haven't lost any weight, so to speak. I'm still the same, and I get to make YouTube videos, and that's all that matters to me in this moment in time, folks. So without further ado, let's get on with today's video, which is all about Days Gone and Deacon Luke St. John and why he's been reduced to a slithering shill on a promotion for a PlayStation 5 game called Astro, which I'm sure is great, but nobody really cares about.
Look at him, he's heading for that small moon.
That's no moon.
Jason King came here to motorboat fun bags and kick ass, and he's all out of titties.
Now, before I dive into today's video, folks, this article from Niche Gamer caught my eye because a friend of mine last week sent me a link for InZOI. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's a sim-like game. And what I wanted to highlight here, folks, and I'm going to have to turn the music down here because I believe it is actually copyrighted, but this was pretty insane, actually. So have a look at this. Obviously not made for me, but what do you notice about the character designs? Male and female. I gotta say, what I'm seeing here, you can create the character you want. I mean, look at her. She's pretty. She's good looking. He's a handsome dude. Look at that. That's what it should be. I'm sure there'll be people out there that want to create a specific gendered character, but from what I'm seeing here, a Niche Gamer wouldn't feature this unless, of course, there was maybe some other gender they're not aware about. But look at that. Looks fun, looks great, and it just focuses on two genders from what my roving eye can see, at least anyway. So that's a really good trailer. Look at that, very pretty face. I mean, goodness gracious me, folks, I'm actually falling off my chair in absolute amazement. In fact, let's see, Crafton, I think I know who these people are actually. Who are Crafton? South Korean. There you go. No wonder it's going to be a good simulator. If it's South Korea, well, we know they're only bending to two laws when it comes to gender identity. But back to today's video, folks. So from thatparkplace.com, from Mr. John F. Trent himself, I'm assuming the F stands for Fitzgerald. Days Gone director bemoans portrayal of Deacon Lee St. John in Astro ad. I see my character reduced to a cartoon shill. What a shame. If you don't know, John Garvin, who is the head of Ben Studio, owned by Sony, has talked about the fact that woke reviewers slammed the original Days Gone back in the day because of technical issues. But of course, the main issue, folks, Deacon Lee St. John is a gruff white dude. We can't have that anymore. Remember in the first infamous game, we had a gravelly voice protagonist. Then they less gravelled his voice for the sequel, and people got really mad about that because a gruff white dude, folks, is problematic in video gaming by today's standards.
Someone cooked here.
So Garvin responded to a post promoting Astrobot from Ben Studio. Kinda sad that Deke has been reduced to promoting other games. Well done, Ben Studio. Way to protect your legacy. So this is what the actual tweet looks like. So big congrats to our friend at Team Asobi on the launch of Astrobot. And if you look carefully, you can see Deacon St. John on the beach against a palm tree, looking at the Astrobot and his Astro dog playing beach volleyball. I mean, and this is why I do hate Funko Pops. They remind me of this type of creation. Garvin made it clear he was specifically referring to the promotional post Ben Studio made depicting Deke on the beach. He told one user, "I was talking about the promotional ad, not the game, but point taken." I mean, this is kind of hot on the heels of PlayStation 5, or Sony rather, announcing the PS5 Pro, which is priced at something ridiculous like $799 for basically a Steam computer inside a games console, when you can just use your Steam computer, right, your PC, your gaming PC, to actually endlessly upgrade and play the games how you want to. And again, with that actual PlayStation 5 Pro, it comes with no disc drive, because Sony are telling you right now, you ain't getting physical copies of your game. So I have to laugh in the face of absolute buffoonery, because this is what Sony is reduced to now, isn't it? It's hilarious. But then John Garvin went on to respond, "Ha ha ha, I see my character reduced to a cartoon shill." But then he later responded, "It's not because Sony doesn't have the prestige in producing Days 2 Gone, is that you need to be harsh with the entire studio like that." Yeah, because Herman Holtz is not a big fan of the first game of Days Gone. I mean, I can actually see why Garvin is upset. People do want a sequel to Days Gone, but for some reason, Sony doesn't want to accept that. Again, Neil Druckmann, I have to blame people like him who've got a lot of influence in making the kind of shit games they want to make, which of course is The Last of Us Part 3. Oh, but then again, what happened to that online multiplayer? What was it? Factions? Last of Us? It didn't happen, got put to the wayside. They're trying to turn it into a live service model, and Bungie, who obviously are under Sony's corporate umbrella, let Neil Druckmann know, yeah, bro, listen, your live action or your live service version for The Last of Us Factions ain't gonna work. I wonder why. Jeez. Yeah, so Garvin also responded to another user who wrote, "It doesn't mean that you hate Astrobot. It means you hate something you made that was specifically cut short, be used in someone else's work. And people forget it's fine to express that frustration feeling." Garvin replied, "Exactly. Garvin responded, "Exactly. I don't know Astrobot and I wish them well, but not at the expense of Days Gone." So what I get from this, it's not John Garvin actually being bitter. I mean, there is a hint of that. It's more to do with the fact that Sony just took his character of Deacon Luke St. John and reduced him to a little bot in an Astrobot promotion, and it's just laughing in the face of mediocrity, not at John Garvin's expense, but at the expense of Sony, who, by the way, I just absolutely have no respect for at all as a gaming company anymore, as a company that makes movies. I mean, have you seen the Venom films? I love Tom Hardy, but honestly, do you want to see those? Because they definitely dissect them before they get to the cinema. They butchered them to death. I mean, we got the Kraven the Hunter film coming out soon with Aaron Taylor Johnson. As good as an actor he's become now, I just don't see that franchise going anywhere, because if you don't have the main protagonist, Spider-Man, then what's the point of even making these solo villain movies where they're not even really that, they're anti-heroes? So Sony has no clue, but whatever, man. Garvin also reposted ex-user Respect Elves, who wrote, "This game is such a graveyard of game franchises. Sony killed it to be cool. It has so many in it. If it wasn't really kind of a bleak representation of how bad the industry is now," which is absolutely true. It's such a shame that Days 2 Gone will not happen. What I think should happen, actually, in retrospect, and of course, this is wishful thinking on my part, if Ben Studios could get themselves bought by somebody else, then we would get a Days Gone 2. But then it's all about intellectual property because it came under Sony, who published it. So I don't know how that would work in the grand scheme of things. But Days Gone 2, well, I've often said this, folks, and I said this to my mum a few days ago. What the whole world needs right now is a massive reset. Remember Sean Bean in GoldenEye when he talked about using that electromagnetic weapon to reset the economy of Earth to the 1940s? I actually favor that. That's why I do like villains more than heroes in a movie, because Sean Bean's character, yes, while he obviously turned against MI5.
James? For England.
For England, Alec.
I actually understood his motivations as a character, not as a villain, but why he thought his cause was actually for the better of the world. While James Bond is there to prevent it and save the day and get the girl in the end, I actually preferred Alex Trevelyan's modus operandi in getting his plan moved forward. So what I think, folks, if we reset the world, then you can reset ideas to how they used to be. What we used to enjoy about entertainment, you know, albeit from a comic book, which is the seed of everything, to television, to movies, to video games. We all need a reset now, because at the moment it seems that companies like EA, Sony, you name them, right? All the big wigs out there, they're run by idiots who don't like video games. It's all about capitalistic gain. Nothing wrong with earning lots of money, folks, but at the end of the day, don't forget who gave you that money in the first place. Your fans. And on that one, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed this video today, make sure you leave a like below, smash that subscribe button, and if I were you, and if you were me, you should definitely return for the next video. Oh my word.
Yep, found it.
I like the way when she bends over, she's like, ah. What's wrong with that? Oh my God, what is wrong? I mean, I tell you what, Sarah's got a great looking ass and those thighs and those boots and those jeans. Oh no, I'm getting carried away again. Snap me out of it.